Hey everyone, Steve here for Who Took My Dice Miniature Wargaming. Welcome to the latest edition of Tactica. So if you haven't seen the first one, that one was on the shooting phase for Warhammer 40,000. I did a little thing on how to get the most out of your shooting phase, picking the right targets to shoot at, and actually at the same time finding ways to stop your opponent from getting the most out of his shooting phase. This one is going to be about the assault phase, the much maligned, much misunderstood, much feared assault phase. It goes without saying that this edition of Warhammer 40,000 has been a lot about shooting. Lots of shooting armies, everything's shooting. Tau love it. Necrons, everything's about getting as much firepower there as possible. However, there are some times where either your army is awesome at assault. Blood Angels, for instance, Space Wolves all have really good assaulting units. Khorne Demonkin is pretty much all about assault. There's times where you still need it. If you have to get a stubborn enemy off an objective, you want to wipe out a unit, you want to get that Slay the Warlord, and you can't do it at shooting. First Blood, whatever. So this video is going to be about sort of surviving things like Overwatch, little tips and tactics and tricks I've learned over the past 20 years on the best ways to actually form an assault and get the most out of that. So in a minute, I'm just going to go down to a tabletop view. We'll set up some models there. We'll get things going, and we'll go through that. So sit tight, and here we go.
Okay, so here I have everything set up. I have a squad of Ultramarines with a character there guarding an objective. Black Templar set up, a Vindicator. So I'll explain this out in a second. So when it comes to the assault phase, there's a lot of complications. You have Overwatch, charging through difficult terrain, shooting being super powerful right now, and in close combat being something that's kind of taking a back seat. But there are tricks to surviving and even excelling in the assault phase. So the first tip or trick I'm going to talk about, is just getting your guys there. That one's simple. Get a good transport. Now, depending on how you've built your army, if you've gone for assault army, transports are key. Yes, they may not survive all the time, but they are definitely a key. All right. So in this scenario, we've got the Black Templars assaulting an Ultramarines position. The Ultramarines have a full 10-man squad. We've got a missile launcher now. We got a captain with who knows what type of awesome weaponry. We got a 6-man Black Templar squad, 5 Initiates and Neophyte, a 5-man Templar squad over there, and a Vindicator. So one of the first tips or tricks that I learned back in the day was never go into combat unsupported. I see it happen a lot where someone will send in a unit for an assault, and they may have taken some pot shots randomly at the unit they're attacking, but really they're just hoping that they can win through brute force. Sometimes this works, sometimes it doesn't. More often it doesn't. So that's why you have things like Vindicators. I don't care if it's a Basilisk, a Vindicator, Wyvern, any sort of heavy weapon platform that the Eldar have, anything. A Defiler, what have you. It's always good to soften up the unit before you hit it. There's a couple reasons. One, you take away their ability to shoot as often in an Overwatch. You reduce their effective number of attacks in close combat, and you can, if you're lucky, give yourself a numerical superiority. That's why I always try, if I'm going for an objective more often than not, I try and hit something. If you saw my battle report there, it was a little bit different that game because of the way the game was designed. We didn't have all those options. Normally I do though. Vindicators, especially whenever I play my Black Templars, my Vindicators are always running up with my guys, giving them support, weakening units, taking out other heavy artillery that they can, and making things easier for my Marines. It's the fluff is great on Marines. You know that in the fluff they're able to take out pretty much anybody. In game terms, not the same. So here we have the thing. So I definitely want to take out this unit here. This unit's got the close combat weapons, has the ability to do it. But I'm worried about Overwatch. So here's another simple trick. and it also goes hand in hand with going in with support. Multiple attacks, right? So I have this unit up here. So I'm going to charge them first. That forces my opponent with the Ultramarines here to make a choice. Do I overwatch on those guys? Or do I not overwatch at all? He has to. If he chooses not to, he can't overwatch at all. So now I have both squads, this one here and this one, coming in on him. So I charge those guys first, shooting with their bolt pistols, hopefully causing a casualty or two, most likely not. And he would overwatch in there. Now say he did manage to kill a couple guys and they fled, it still leaves this squad here to charge in. They won't have to face any overwatch shots, and hopefully this unit has taken some damage from those guys and taken some damage from the Vindicator. Alright, the other thing you have to worry about is distance. You have to be very careful of this. These guys are almost, probably I would say about on the very edge of maybe 10 inches apart. I have to go 2d6. Now, I would assume that this building here, which is made up of my Beast of War train, yay! Going into difficult terrain, it's -2 to your charge range. So these guys would have to roll, honestly, a 12 to charge in. Not very good. Now, for instance, if I had them, say, closer to the door, as such, or around the edges here, but still obviously within unit coherency, maybe getting that flamethrower up there. If they were here, I have a much better time of getting in there. They're only maybe 6 inches apart. Alright? These guys, also they have to go through difficult terrain. They might not make it. So always, but there's also risk. If I move them up to make an assault, I have to worry about things like my Vindicator, or my Basilisk, or any sort of blast template. It may actually scatter my guys. That's a risk you take. Sometimes it happens. I find it very rarely, though. So those are a couple of tips right there. The other one is when you have something like a flamethrower, always get him up first. Always have these guys up front before you make an assault. Obviously, the range is better. They can hit more things, and they're great in assault. I love flamers. I actually need to add some to my Ultramarines. But yeah, they're fantastic weapons to have. The other one, the other tip I have is when someone's actually trying to assault you, right? For these Ultramarines here, you have a number of assaults coming at you. Sometimes you get stuck in situations like this, and you just have to tough it out. Always try and take the Overwatch. Don't ever give up on it, because you could end up making some casualties, chasing them off. Yes, this squad here will undoubtedly be coming at you unharmed. However, if you are lucky, say the Vindicator doesn't do that much damage, these guys don't do anything with their bolt pistols, you will have the numeric superiority. Yes, they might have more attacks. You also have your character there. That doesn't always happen, but that helps. Alright? So that's some of my little tips and tricks I've learned over the years. Some simple ones. Again, I'm keeping them basic for now. We're going to get into some more complex stuff. I'm actually going to do a Tactica coming up soon on tactical squads. How to get the most out of your tactical squad / Crusader squad. They kind of operate the same way. Obviously have some different options. But yeah, so that is that for now.
So there you go, guys. That was a table view. Just some quick, pretty simple tactics, ones that can be effective for everybody. So yeah, just a recap. Make sure your charge range is good. Try and get as close as possible. Obviously, if you're trying to support with blast weapons, make sure that you do try and aim so the blast hopefully won't hit your own guys. Never go into combat unsupported. Always try using multiple units to attack the same target. This way, they have to choose if they're going to overwatch one or the other. And I don't want to call them sacrifice units, but make sure you have something like that. Something, or even if it's 2 of your units, make sure you go in with both. I should have done that in my battle report. I kind of went piecemeal and just started attacking different things. I should have focused on one unit and wiped them out one at a time. That's another great tactic. Because that kind of combines the both. That's where things get a bit more complicated. Not much, but a little bit. What you do in your shooting phase does affect what you do in your assault phase. So make sure that you've got the both of them kind of working together. Don't shoot one thing, assault another one, piecemeal, ad hoc here and there. It's gonna make things difficult for you. It's not gonna be effective in the long run, especially in assault phase. It'll make things easier for your opponent. In that battle report, I should have hit each unit, moved up, shot, assaulted it, wiped it out, moved on to the next one. Will that mean capture those buildings a bit faster and do more damage? That's where both of them kind of combine into one. Never go into battle unsupported. I'm just going to recap these. That's a really important one. I've seen it time and time again. It sounds really simple, really basic, but I've seen even veterans make this mistake. They just charge you with a unit. They've done a little bit of damage to any unit, just piecemeal shooting. They haven't done any concerted effort to really put a hurt on it. The best tactical thing, the best strategy is the one where you get the most with sacrificing the least, right? That's what this all comes down to. Hit the opponent with some sort of blast weapon, heavy weapon, I don't care what it is, weaken them. Even if you play Space Marines or you play an army, it's really good assault. You know, I could charge in there and I could wipe them out. However, you don't know. You might fail the charge. You get shot up. Have to wait another turn. You may whiff on dice rolls. I've done that many times. I've gone in going, I got this. I end up losing the combat. Try and negate their Overwatch power. Again, against Tau, this is very difficult because their units can crossfire over each other. And right? So, what was I going to say? Yeah. So just try and negate their Overwatch. By attacking multiple units, focus in on what you need to do, and just this is the best way to do assault, I think. Make sure you know what you're attacking, you know what you got supporting you. You go in, make sure you take out as much of their unit as you possibly can before attacking. That way you can just wipe that out, right? Say I hit that Ultramarine unit with the cannon. It does the Vindicator does a bunch of damage. I take out 3 or 4 guys. I've already dropped the amount of shots that are going to come at either unit in Overwatch. Say I do attack with that first 5-man squad with the bolters. I open fire with my bolt pistol. Say I knock off another guy. That's 2 more shots I don't have to face in Overwatch, and it's 1 less attack I have to worry about in close combat. Then I come in with that other squad. Well, if he's already Overwatched, maybe he does take out a Marine. Probably not enough to make that Crusader squad run, and now he's got to face that Crusader squad and the assault-oriented one, right? Even with that character, say that character, it's just an Ultramarines, but say he has some sort one of that the Emperor's Teeth, that special weapon that's a really deadly chainsword. He can start really hurting me. However, I still have enough attacks I might be able to wipe out that unit and even maybe run him down, or at least get into another combat where I have even more numerical superiority. I've gotten that. I could get the slay the Warlord. So these are just things to keep in mind. Again, it's kind of a basic thing, but as usual, even in the battle report, I did it. I didn't focus properly on either the shooting phase or my close combat phase the way I should have. Might have been because I was shooting a video. It's the first battle report I did, but I should have focused better on those. I should have directed my shots better. I should have directed my assault better, and I could have probably come out with a win on that one. Who knows? The dice gods can be fickle sometimes. So that's it for this one. As usual, like, subscribe, share, send me questions. Put them down in the comments below. Send them to the the email. Even put them on my Facebook page. Send me questions anywhere. I will be doing another Q&A next month, probably somewhere around the middle of the month, depending on how many questions I get. So please, guys. Oh, and the other thing, I want to say this before I forget, I've actually gotten over 50 subscribers now. So it may not be a huge milestone to some, but that one is massive to me. I have over 50 now. And that's huge. And that's come literally probably within the last month. Maybe a little bit longer, maybe the last 2 months. This is where all the massive subscribers came in. I love each and every one of you guys for subscribing. I thank you so much. Everybody who's been there from the beginning to people who joined the last couple of days. I can't thank you enough for the support. It means a lot. I'm actually planning, when I hit 100 subscribers, to do a little contest. I'm just running through some ideas right now. But when I hit 100 subscribers, I am going to do a contest because I can't believe it. My mind is still blown. Almost every day I'm getting another subscriber, and it just blows my mind. I can't thank you guys enough. To the guys who just do the shout-outs for me, it meant the world. It still does. So until next time, guys, I will see you later. And keep rolling those dice.